We bring in meteorologist Christian Bridges. Hurricane season just started on Sunday. Some tropical mischief may already be brewing.
We just started, for goodness sakes,
I know.
Christian.
So what is the deal?
Well, the good news is the odds of development have really gone down to 0 with this one. So that's a pretty good news. But it just goes to show that, now that we're in hurricane season, tropics just beginning to show the signs, that they are heating up for the season. So we've been watching this area off the southeast U.S. coast for development. It had only about a 10% chance yesterday. That has since dropped to 0, as it looks like the low pressure will be over land, so it won't be able to actually develop into a storm. But just goes to show that this time of year is usually around when we start seeing that potential for the first storm of the season developing. So you can see, odds of development are very low, dropped down to 0 now. So not expecting this to become a tropical storm. Even yesterday, the odds were only 10%. So that chance has always been pretty low with this. But you can see that swirl off the coast of Georgia and northern Florida. And again, the potential is there that this could bring at least some rain and some breezy winds to portions of the southeast. So let's talk about the hurricane season. Again, it's early. It's only early June. So typically this time of year, we're not tracking much activity. You notice by August 1st, that's usually the day, boom, everything starts to really ramp up with the peak of hurricane season right around September 10th or so, or around that first week of September with the most activity. So we still have a ways to go before things really pick up here, but you can see where we are today, just past the 1st of June, there can be some activity. And in fact, the first named storm usually forms around June 20th or sometime in the month of June. And for tropical development during the month, right off the southeast coast where that area of low pressure is, that is usually where we have the highest odds of seeing some development. So you can see the Gulf of Mexico up into the eastern or western Atlantic, right near the southeast coast of the U.S. If we do get any storms that form in June, that is typically where we do see that development. Not really usual to get a major hurricane or anything this time of year. And you can see as we head through the month, that development area tends to shift to the north and east, and more areas could see development as we get later into June. Now here's a look at all the tracks of June storms since about 1900, and you can see that really follows that trend really well. Right over the Gulf of Mexico, off the southeast coast of the U.S., and you'll notice that one line in that sort of pink color there. That was Hurricane Beryl last year. If you guys remember that one, that was a Category 4 hurricane in the month of June. We've never seen a storm that strong during the month before, and it ended up becoming a Category 5 within the first couple days of July. So yeah, that was definitely an odd one out when it comes to June or July storms. Usually they're pretty weak when they form early in the season. So kind of interesting that last year we were talking about such a powerful storm during the month of June. So again, not something that we typically see, but it is a possibility, and also not something that we see here in New England. Usually when we do get a storm in our region, it's later in the season, August and September. But this is when things start to get going. And again, we've got the whole rest of the month to see if we do end up getting a named storm. So here's a look at when that first named storm of the hurricane season formed over the past 10 years. Last year was right around average, June 19th with Tropical Storm Alberto. You can see we had a rash of some very early development between 2016, or really 2015, and 2021, with every storm those years forming before the start of the season, including in 2016. Look at that, Hurricane Alex developed in January. That was incredibly unusual. We've had storms in April and in May, but typically that first storm forms in June. And over the past several years, since 2022 at least, that has been the case. It looks like this year we are going to be the latest start since last year, since we are approaching June 5th now, and we have not seen a storm yet. So it'll be interesting to see when that first one forms. Hurricane season just beginning right now, you guys, but yeah, as we head through the month, we'll see if we end up with maybe another storm developing and taking that first name. If we do get a storm this month, or whenever that first storm forms, the name will be Andrea this year.
Well, there we go.
And it's a long hurricane season all the way through the end of November.
Yes, that's right. And new on the list this year, Dexter, that replaced Dorian from back in 2019, because we're using that same list. If you remember last week, I talked about how the naming process works. And yeah, so this year we are back from the list that we used 6 years ago, just like we do every year. We go back through that one of those 6 rotating lists of names. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see when that first one forms. Does not look likely to happen this week, but in the next couple weeks, very well could be happening.
And sometimes they just pop up.
They
kind
do.
of out
They
of
can
nowhere.
happen
Yeah.
very, very quickly, especially, off the coast of the southeast or in the Gulf of Mexico. So who knows? In a few days, we might be talking about another low pressure area that quickly spins up and becomes our first tropical storm.
Well, we don't want them anywhere around the United States.
That's right,
Correct.
especially near Maine. And the good news is this time of year, it would be really crazy if we got any tropical impacts, even if it was,
Yeah.
dissipating as it moved up here.
Stay out in the ocean, run out of steam.
That
That's
would
what
be
we
right.
want.
great.
I know. We're hoping for a nice, easy hurricane season this year, or at least a break from landfalling hurricanes in the U.S.
That is the hope.
That's the hope. And if you've got any weather-related questions you'd like to ask the Weather Authority team, you can always email us at weather@wgme.com.
All right, thanks, Kristen.